Hey, thank you for choosing my Fiverr gig. So I'll be critiquing your first solve right now. Okay. So the first thing which I noticed in your solves was that you are a dual color neutral, which is a great thing. And if you can go full color neutral, I will recommend you go full color neutral. But for right now, dual color neutral works. So you can get around sub 10, like around 8 seconds, 8 second average with dual color neutral. Okay. So next great thing which I noticed was you saw the first pair, which is the orange and green. And another thing, your cross solutions are good. Your cross execution is where you are a bit lagging. Okay. So for example, how you start the cross. So you pick up the cube like this and you do a L move. Now doing an L move, what will it do in your real competition? So if you do a L move, you have to do a regrip. Okay. And we two things which we need to avoid, one is cube rotations and another is regrips. Okay. Cube rotations can be at least allowed sometimes, but regrips are very bad for solves. Okay. So how you could have avoided regrip in this solve was keeping the cube like this. So if you take your hand like this, you could have done it with a ring finger and this with a F2, insert this. Okay. So however, what you did was you did the blue insert, you did this and then orange, and you got this. So you did a D, and then you see this first pair and you go straight away in that. Okay. Next thing which I noticed in your first pair was you did a cube rotation. So in this case you could have avoided the cube rotation. I will tell you how. Okay. So you could have done a back insert from here like this. I'll show you how you need to do the back insert. Okay. So you got the pair right here, right? So you do a U2 wherever the slot is, hold it like this, do a wide R dash, put it in the slot. Okay. Just a second. Yeah. So put it in the slot and do again a U2 U and then M slice, right? So I think you understood how it goes. So right, let me just bring back the pair. Yeah. So fast it looks like that, and it's pretty fast, right? So you could have done that. Now considering the fact that what you did was you did a cube rotation and you did this. Okay. Now another thing which I noticed, you tried to look around the cube because you saw this corner, so you wanted to find this edge. So now clearly you aren't looking ahead. If you had looked ahead, you might have seen this edge right here, because the way you put in the back should have enabled you to see this pair too and this edge too. So you could have seen both the pairs. But what you did was you put the first pair and then you look around the cube to see this edge. Okay. Which is a pretty bad thing. So you need to work on your look ahead. I will be telling you how you can go about that, but let's move on. Okay. So now what you do here is you bring the edge. Another bad thing you do, you put the corner up again, which there was no need to do. Okay. So you could have straight away done a U2. So you are a bit doubtful about yourself, like if you find a piece or a corner or something or a pair, you you are doubtful that is that slot empty or is that the correct edge which I looked up. So you need to be very confident when you're seeing. For example, even if you rotate and see, you need to straight away go for that. Okay. So however you did this and you put the pair right in the back, which was great. Again, you didn't look ahead, that's why you had to rotate your cube to see this edge. Okay. Now how you pad this edge, I have no comments on that. That was good. Now luckily you got this pair. I don't know if you saw this, like you had a you looked ahead and you saw this pair forming, or you got lucky. But however, you got this pair, you put it in the back, right? Which is again a great thing. You need to put your pairs in the back. But now let's focus on the OLL. Okay. So if you see the OLL, you have got a pi case. Now this is a very easy COLL case, and I would go as far as to say you can even predict the PLL, which is a UA pump. Okay. So how I do that, I will tell you. Okay. So basically in COLL you are going to solve the corners, right? So for this case, how you are going to recognize, you will see these two are opposite, these two are opposite, which are pretty easy to recognize in pi case, right? So even if you see the cube like this, you are done predicting. Okay, so I mean, you are done seeing what the COL case was. So you could see a checker pattern like thing here, right? So like if these two are same and these two are same and both are opposite, then you are good to go. Okay, so that's how you're going to recognize the COL case. How I predicted the PLL, that's what we need to work, right? So if you see this edge, this is blue, this is green, this is red, and this is orange. Okay, so for example, if I do this on the cube, okay, you can see this is blue, orange, green, and red. So if I use the analogy that this edges won't shift their place while I do my COL, which is logically the thing which that algorithm does, so this should be a PLL skip, right? And of course it's a PLL skip. So now if you see here, you are going to get a UA pump. If you see how a UA pump looks like, right? Sorry, just a second. So this is how a UA pump looks like, right? See the edge, just focus on the edges. So you can see this is a UA pump. So how are you going to do the COL? I'll be providing the alg in the video, right? So you can see me doing it. This is a pretty easy. Okay, I messed up. Let me just get it back. Yeah. So this is a pretty easy COL case, right? So I'll be providing the alg in the video. You can see me doing it. You can do pinky finger and you get a PLL skip, right? So in your case you would have got a OLL. Okay, just a second. This is a pretty easy COL case, as you can see. So now I'll be showing you how to execute this. You have to do this and then push this. Now you get a pretty easy PLL which you could have predicted in the solve itself. So this could have been an easy one-dot class layer. Okay, so this is my critique for the first solve. Okay, so coming to your second solve, you start with the white cross and you do a very great execution for the cross, which I like very much. So you did a very great execution here. There's nothing which I can critique for your execution. So you take your hand, you do a U and D right away and then put the red, and you also get this pair. Now I don't know you got accidentally or you actually made this pair. If you actually made this pair, this was a great solve. Okay, let me just scramble another cube of mine, just a second. Okay, so if you actually made this pair, like you planned this pair, then this was good. But why I think you didn't plan this pair was because you looked around your cube like this and you saw if this slot was empty. Of course this slot was empty because you just made a cross, so of course there was nothing there. So you could have directly done a insert while you made this pair, like because the red was in this position, so you could have directly inserted. But however you inserted a back, you did a back insert, which was great. Now you see this pair. Okay, so let me just see, did you see the pair or did you again look around the cube, which is a bad thing which you are, which I noticed in both of your solves, that you are trying to look around the cube. You need to work on your look ahead. Okay, I'll be telling you at the end like how you can work on your look ahead. So wait for that. Okay, so you do the back insert, right? Yeah. Okay, so why I scrambled the cube again, I'll show you here. You need to notice one or two things here. Okay, so if you notice this edge, right, now why I say you to notice that edge, because that edge moves only one or two times during the whole solving of your cross, right? So just look for this edge. Okay, so now I put this here, it goes here. Okay, sorry, I put my blue also here, so this edge is here. Okay, now so you saw it traveled from here to here, which is pretty easy to track. Okay, now you can also see this corner. If you slowly start solving your cube very slowly during the cross stage, you can probably see the corner. Okay, now however, I think you are planning this red and green, but I think you could have also seen where this edge was. Okay, so you could work on that. Okay, so okay, you get this pair, you put a back insert. Okay, now you see this corner, right? So this corner is right in front of your eyes, of course you have seen it, and you have also tracked this edge, and you could have easily guessed the orientation of that is, so you could have paired it like this. Okay, so this was a easy pair to get. Okay, and there are numerous ways to insert this pair, right? Okay, so however, what you did was you separated this corner and edge. Now there is a more efficient way of separation. Of course you could have done it like this, right, which you didn't do. If you had done that, there is another case to insert the pair very easily to the back. Okay, so now however, you separate the piece like this, and then you do a U2, then you solve it normally. Okay, so you put there. Now the main thing comes. Oh sorry. Okay, now the main thing comes. What you do is you solve this, because you, as soon as you get triggered, you see that okay, this is here, and I cannot solve this corner and edge because both of these slots are filled, so I need to do a U2 and a cube rotation. But why I think you should have gone for this pair is, this pair will have given you this corner and edge separated, right? I will show you in that another cube. Okay, so what you did was you do this and you get a pretty bad case. Okay, so you need to separate, then make it a 3 move insert, and then put it with a cube rotation. So that's pretty inefficient. Okay, okay, so what you could have done here is, because I know you don't know how to solve this pair, like if both of the slots are filled, so you could have done it like this. Now you see both of them are separated, while you don't need to do another cube rotation to solve the second pair, so you could have done it like that. Now however, you get this, then you do a back insert. That was a pretty bad case. Then you go for the OLL right here. So I don't have anything to say about the OLL, and which accidentally is the COLL for this case, so you get a bonus for that, and then you solve the cube. So there's nothing much more to say in the last layer, but the things which you need to work is on your look ahead and being confident while you're tracking the pair, right? So how can you be confident while tracking the pair? Okay, so use a blindfold. How to use a blindfold? So what you can do is plan your cross and first pair, and don't use a blindfold or anything, just close your eyes and execute the cross and first pair while you have closed your eyes. Okay, and see if you get it exactly how you planned it to be, and do it till you get it around 90% perfect. So that way you will be confident enough that when you are taking the cube for inspection, you know if you have planned your cross and first pair, they are going to be at the right place the way you planned it. So you can do blind solves for the cross and first pair. Now how to go for look ahead, again like I said in the last first solves video, what you can do is go slow. Okay, so this is a very cliche statement that going slow will make you fast. So how will that make you fast? That you need to work upon yourselves. Okay, now if I just say go slow and you go slow and it doesn't make you fast, then it doesn't make sense, right? So what you need to do is, when you go slow until you see another F12 pair while you are solving the first pair. Okay, so one thing to develop this skill is, again, blindfold and solve. Okay, so when you're doing first pair, try to predict where the another edge and corner would be, and close your eyes, solve the first pair, and see if both of the corner and edge are on the same spot where you think it would be. and you can just do it randomly while you're casually solving, right? So that will improve your look ahead a lot. So that would be my tips for the solve number 2. Okay, at the end of all the 5 videos I will show you what you need to work upon. And the thing which I have noticed as your bad habit which might have developed is you looking around the cube. You should never look around the cube if you are so fast. Okay, so if you are averaging around 11-12 seconds, don't ever move your cube. If you have any urge to move your cube, that should be only in the last layer, that to recognize a COLL, ZBLL or some PLL case. But even for PLL I think you should know two-sided PLL recognition, so that should be fair enough. So now I'll be reviewing your third solve. So from the 2 solves which I have seen, you need to reduce your looking around the cube. That's one thing you need to work upon. You need to be confident on your first pair and work on your look ahead a lot. You need to work on your look ahead a lot. Start with slow solves, as slow as you can get, so that you can track another piece. So that's the speed you need to maintain. Eventually you can track pieces at a faster pace, then you can increase your TPS, and then eventually you will reach your actual TPS. So let's now we will see your third solve. Okay. Yeah. Hey, so in your third solve, what I noticed was you started with the white cross, right? So you can see the edge pieces, right? The orange, the blue, then the green and red. So like these both are connected with the centers, and green is just one move away, and you can put red after putting green. So the white cross seems pretty easy, but I think you should have gone with the yellow cross. Okay, so if you see the yellow cross piece, this is the blue, okay, green, red and orange. Okay, but the one thing which you should have noticed is both of this are just one move away from being a pair. Okay, so what you could have done is you could have put the blue, then the green, right? Then you could have done this. Okay, now the whole time the pair remains there, you could have just gone directly into this pair. You see that this corner isn't moving, so you could have tracked this, but I won't suggest you tracking that. But if you could have tracked that, you could have got a second pair. So the yellow cross seemed pretty easy on the solve if you had looked up for that. Okay, however you went for the white cross. Okay, so I see what you did there was, I guess, something like this. Okay, you put the orange, then the green. Okay, this seems pretty straightforward, and then you directly went for the first pair. Okay, so what you did in the first pair, let me just see. What you did was you disconnected the pair right here. So I'll just come there. Okay, yeah, so okay, so what I see is, okay, let me just pause there for a second. Yeah, yeah. So you do the pair like this. Now what this does is this means obviously when you see this pair, you can see this too, right? So you want to keep track of this pair because this is like a corner and at which you can obviously look at it. So what you do is you put separate this and put it like this 3 movements. What you could have done instead is you could have separated it like this, and you could have put it like this. Now what this enables you to do is basically you get the pair at the front. So like that could have been better, I guess. So that's one place where you need to work. Okay, so that's one thing. You need to keep your pieces which you need to track at the front so that you can have filled back slots, right? So you could have done that. However, what you did was fine. You went for it like that. Then I think you did the orange and green pair, right? Just a second. Okay. Yeah, you did the red and blue. Okay, then you went for okay. Okay, so the next pair you go for is the orange and green, right? Now what you could have gone for here instead is one thing you could have gone for this definitely, because which you should have looked at while you were doing your first pair. Okay, if you are not going for this pair, then I think you should have probably gone for this pair, because it was a very easy no regrip pair, so you could have directly separated this and like put it at the back slot. Okay, so this should have been your optimal like method to do this pass, but however what you did was you took out this. Okay, so another thing which I think is you took out and then you put, which you could have done with a regrip, you could have done this. Okay, both of them work fine, but I think that this would have been better, just because you can get this slot to look ahead better. However, you did this, right? Okay, then I think you went for the blue and orange. Let's just see there. Yeah, so in blue and orange, I mean I don't have any comment about seeing how you inserted the pair. So you did the pair fine, then you did this, so that was all fine, I think. Yeah, so I like your finger tricks, like when you are inserting the red green pair, you are doing finger tricks like this for you. So that is good thing that you're doing finger tricks like that. So that is one good thing. But now what we need to work, so what we need to work right now is one thing. So during even your first pair you looked around the cube, right? So you have to look ahead. There is no way out for that, so try to track pieces. I would say try to track corners first. Okay, so like for cross and then the first F12 pass corner, because tracking corner is pretty easy, because corners can be in this layer or in this layer. So of course if you have I mean there are only two layers where corners can be, but for edges that varies a lot when you're tracking, so they can move from here to here. So like there are more layers for edges to travel, so you can track corners. The orientation of corner is the only place where you will face problem, like in what orientation the corner is, but that you will get hold with practice. So I don't have anything to say about the OLL and PLL. They were fine, and you did the last layer fine. So I'll be now reviewing your force, all right. Yeah, so in your force solve you start with a white cross. Okay, so white edges I see, like this is the blue, green, red and orange. So this seems a pretty easy cross. Sorry, blue, red, green and orange. This seems a pretty easy cross, right? But what I think you should have noticed, because you're a dual color neutral, is this pair. At first, like as soon as I saw this scramble, I thought I need to save this pair by some means. But other than that, this pair even seems pretty easy to save. If you insert green, then blue, and then you do a demo and insert red, and then you can insert orange. This pair will just come up here and you can do a simple sledgehammer. So that way you could have done the cross and you would have got this free pair. Okay, so this was very easy to track, and I think you should have gone with yellow cross here, but I don't know, for some reason I think the white cross seemed pretty easy, so you went right away for the white cross. So just if you're dual color neutral, look out for all the possibilities. Now the next thing we need to talk. Okay, so in cross, yeah, of course in cross, another thing you could have looked up is this. Okay, so this corner and like pieces, this cross piece and corner are joined, and you can see there is this edge which is just an R2 away. So you could have tried making a X cross. Anyway, what you do is you could have done the X cross pretty easy, I guess, because it was not a tough X cross, to be pretty honest. So what you do is, okay, you put the blue edge, you put the red and green like that. Okay, now you do a D move, you come here and now I think you are seeing that this corner was here. So what you do is you wanted to see the edge. Now you look around the cube. Again you need to work on this bad habit which you have developed, looking around the cube. Okay, so now you look around the cube and then you see that there is this edge and this corner which is like a 3 move insert for this slot. So what you do is you do a U move, I guess, and then D, and then remove this, do a 3 move insert, which is pretty inefficient because you had to be looking for that F12 pair. If you had inspected that in your inspection, then you could have gone for it. Then next thing which I would like to comment is, okay, you separate this, right, and separate this, then do a cube rotation and insert this. But what you failed to see was both of them were just, both of this corner and edge were like just there. And I guess you know that this would have gotten into a 3 move setup if you had been like midway of inserting this. You would have seen this, that this would have been in a 3 move setup and you could have straight away gone for that. However, what you did was you separated it, and let me just go for this cube. Yeah, so what you did was you separated this, did a cube rotation, put this, and then I think then you went for the red and blue, right? Let me just see. Yeah, so right away you went for red and blue. Okay, and then of course you went for the green and orange. Yeah, and green and orange I think you did fine, so there is nothing to comment about there. Let me just see once again what you did for green and orange. Yeah, so green and orange I think you did fine, right? So that I don't have anything to comment for red and green and orange. Then I think you got a easy OLL. I'm sure you didn't get this OLL. The same, you got a P case, which you did some U dash moves to recognize, which wasn't necessary, I guess. You could have straight away gone, and if you know the PLL from the lefty, you could have executed that straight away. So I mean, I don't know if your lefty is fast or not, because the PLL just came right in front of you, like in the lefty type. So I think you should have gone for that. Let me just and yeah, so for me the lefty is pretty fast. So if you had gotten the PLL in OLL in that orientation, you could have directly gone for the lefty, but either works, like whichever is fine for you. So however, the OLL and I don't have anything to comment about the PL. So the last layer was fine, but you still need to work on your look ahead, and then you need to be confident if you are inspecting something in your cross. So if you are confident, then only you can do the cross to F12 transition pretty smoothly. So that's one place you need to be working upon. Okay, so now I'll be reviewing your fifth solve. Yeah, so in your fifth solve, I see you started with the white cross, which was good because even I don't think there was a lot of things to see in yellow cross. So okay, so however you started with white cross, which is a good thing, and your execution of white cross was perfect. But one place where I felt you missed one thing was you could have tracked the orange and green pair, which you did as your first pair, but I don't think you tracked it. I'll tell you why. So what happened there was, again what you did was you looked around the cube like this while you were doing your first pair, just before you did your first pair. So I know for sure that you didn't inspect that in the first. Okay, so how should we go about doing? I will tell you. So what was your first move? You did two moves at the same time, which is great. so only this move affects this corner, right? So you can already see they both are together. So this should not be a lot harder to track, right? So what you're doing is you separate it. Okay, this is the one move you do, and then these two together. So right, you have just separated this with one move, and it has only been affected with two moves in the whole cross. Okay, so we'll see this is the one time it got affected, and the edge has not been moved yet. Okay, so now it moves, but it won't get affected in the whole situation. But now when you do the B move, now when you do the B move, this gets affected, right? Corner. Okay, so now you can see the corner has come up and here. So this two part you can track while you're drawing your cross or completing your cross. So you could have straight away gone into the first pair. However, you looked around the cube a bit and then you went for the first pair, which works. I mean, there is no problem with that. Okay, so then you go for, I guess, the red green pair. So let me just see. I think your cross execution is perfect, but again, only in the first solve I noticed that your cross execution was not good. So like after that, every cross solution was done with a D or U move starting. So that is one good thing. And you can also inculcate some wide moves into your solve to reduce, like to bring front slot in, like back slots into front. Okay, so let's see. You do, okay, you look around the cube a bit and then you solve your orange and green pair, and now you go for the red and green. Okay, so for I think for in this now you could have noticed this two. Okay, this edge and this corner, because I think the red and green pair formed when you inserted this, so you could have noticed this. It was easy, but even if you did it slowly, this pair, you might have noticed red and green. So go a bit slow. Okay, so you're going very fast, which makes your brain harder to track pieces than you do it normally. This piece, now you get a 3 move insert, and what I see is you stuck a little bit. You again look around the cube a bit. Not, I won't say you do like this, but you do something sort of this to get an idea of all the pieces. Then you go here. So here now we know that we have already noticed this edge and this corner. When we remove it, comes into our eye. So you go straightly into that corner. Now here's a very great thing which you did. You did a EO. I don't know, you did it. I mean, I think you did it by intentionally, because you knew this case or something. Like, I mean, you knew you had to do sledgehammer. That is just an intuition, I think, because you stopped there for a second before inserting the F12 pair. So that was good. But here one another thing which I noticed was, if you see like soon case with a headlight pointing towards you, you could have done a lefty and lefty soon. So that would have been easy, I guess. So because what you did was you did a U2, and I am noticing in some of your solves that you are not doing lefty U2. You need to know both the U2s, righty and lefty. So that you need to get familiar with, and then you could have done here M thing. However, your PLL was good. I don't think there is anything to comment on your PLL. Yeah, so what you do here is, yeah, the soon and then the PLL comes. Yeah, there's nothing to comment on the PLL. The PLL was fine. So I think okay, I'll be now at the end of this video, I'll be telling you what you need to improve upon. So let's get to that. Yeah, okay, so the first tip I would like to give you is that you rotate your cube a lot. So if you rotate your cube a lot to see pieces, that means you are not looking ahead. And to work on your look ahead, the most cliche thing everyone says is solve your cube slowly. But if you are solving your cube slowly, what you need to do two things is, if you're solving your cube slowly, you need to track the next edge and corner. If you are not doing that, then of course solving the cube slowly doesn't make any sense at all. Okay, so that is the first thing. So how can you track edges and corners like confidently? Okay, so at first I think I don't say that you are not looking ahead. You look ahead, but you look ahead only for the pieces which seem pretty easy. So what you can do is basically like plan your cross and first pair, take more than 15 seconds inspection time and plan your cross and first pair, and then close your eyes and solve both the cross and first pair and see if that works for you. Okay, so basically that worked for me because that's how I started my cross plus first pair thing. Okay, then another thing, you can then extend this same like exercise for your F12 look ahead also. So you can plan your first pair and second pair, and then you can like close your eyes and solve both the pairs simultaneously and see how much success rate you're getting. So this is one tip I would like to give you. Second is try to learn full COLL. Okay, if you are not able to learn full COLL, at least try to learn some easy cases like which I showed you. So to learn COLL, you can use algdb.net, but algdb.net basically supplies you with algorithms, right? So if you want to have a legit like alg trainers, there are a lot of trainers, but I would like to suggest one which is known as Anki Droid. There is a I think a link from Speedcubing forum. I will be putting that in description, so you can check out that Anki Droid. It's like an adaptive learning application kind thing, so you can check out that Anki Droid. And the third thing which I would like to say is I noticed this only in your first solve, which was that you are not executing your cross how you would execute in your actual competitions. So like when you're in a competition, you're going to use a stack mat. So the execution of cross has to be like stack mat friendly kind, So if you are starting with L moves, this gives you an immediate regrip. So you need to avoid such things. Then if you're like, for example, if you want to do a B move, then you have to do B moves like this. Okay, I mean you cannot do B move like this. You have to use your R and put a B move, and then so you have to plan your cross accordingly if you are having a B moves and thing. So that's the one tip I would like to give. So work on these three tips, then if you get to learn full COLL and things like that, then we can work on your F12 cases. But I think that the F12 cases you are solving efficiently, but the only thing is sometimes you don't look ahead, which hinders your solution for F12 cases. So these are all the tips I would like to give you for from what I saw from the 5 solves.